Hello everyone, good evening. Hello everyone. I believe everyone is able to hear me.
Yes, sir.
You're able to hear me?
Yes, sir. It is audible.
Okay, thank you. So we are expecting some students also. So we will start within few minutes. So I think many of you would have written the prelims exam, or they are planning to write your the prelims in 2023. Uh, so 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 today we will discuss about the agriculture optional, about the subject and how to prepare in short. ಬಾಸ್ ಇದು ಅವನು ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹುಡುಗರು ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು?
ಬಂದು ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹುಡುಗರು ಯಾರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ.
ಈಗ ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮಾಡು, ನಿನಗೆ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾನು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಸೊ
ಓಕೆ,
ನಾಟ್ ಆಡಿಬಲ್ ಅಂತ
ಅದು 9-3ಗೆ
ಹಂಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಕ್ವಶನರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋ. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಓಕೆನಾ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ. ಕೇಳಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ನೀವು ಸೌಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡು.
ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದೆ
ಓಕೆ, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮತ್ತೇನು.
ಸೊ ನೌ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ದ ಸೆಷನ್. Hope everyone is able to see the slides. So today we will discuss about agriculture optional, which can be uh, students maybe for 2022 or 23. So myself, Jorben, I have given my UPSC CSE interview in 2020 and I have written 2 mains, and also I'm doing my PhD at IARI. Both I have written with agriculture optional. So with this background, I take this opportunity to also guide the other students whoever wants to prepare with agriculture optional. So in general, who should choose who should choose agriculture optional is the first question which people come into the mind. So if you have studied even biology in the class 12, that would be enough for you to choose agriculture optional. It is manageable for you. And also if you are from BSc agriculture, then I would suggest you that you have to take agriculture as optional. It would yield better fruits, because the syllabus of agriculture optional is much more similar, and it will have an good edge for every one of you. And also it's a scoring optional. Even many seniors of us who got more than 300 plus score also, even this year also people have got 300 plus. So that's why there is no question about the scoring. So if you look at the broad analysis of the paper, so the paper 1 of agriculture optional is very generic. It looks generic, uh, but it has its own the strategy which you need to follow, because as it is generic, you need to make it specific and make it attractive for the examiner. Because when we write the mains when we write the mains answer copy, we need to differentiate between the candidates. Maybe 30-40 agri students write the paper from agriculture optional. There is a need to diversify there, because in paper 1 there is lot of generic information. So when there is generic information, we need more specificity, we need to give more specificity, and need to choose the options in such a way. But in general, if you look at the paper 2, is more of science, like you have genetics, breeding, seed science and other topics, which can be easily aced by reading and going through. It's like you know the points, you clearly write the objectives and you write the question, then you will be rewarded good marks. And regarding like notes making, based on topic wise and previous year question wise, you need to make the topics, you need to make the notes. Because in reality it is not like the university exams that you cram the day before and you write. It's not like that. You need to be specific and with all the important points. We will discuss it further also in detail. And also you need to go for value addition for every extra marks. That is what's the difference. There is no much difference between a candidate who is scoring 200, 250 and 300. It's just that 1 or 2 marks that matters. So like we know about the syllabus of environment and agronomy in the first part. See, these topics can be easily prepared from the GS3 which we are reading, like the environment portion, we are reading these topics. So these topics will be really helpful, you can read it from that. So you can see ecology and its relevance to man, natural resources. These topics can be easily compiled, and environmental pollution, and only these topics you need to do with respect to agriculture, like these remote sensing and geographic information system topics needs to be done specifically. And like when you look at the agronomy and forestry, so we have different topics like the cropping pattern in different agroclimatic zones. Here we find that you just need to make some 2 to 3 pages notes. See, look at the impact of high yielding and short duration varieties. Have specific examples like the short duration variety, Pusa 120, red gram. It can be used in the rice wheat cropping system. Such examples you need to write. Please use the examples, like you should know some 5 to 10 varieties which are very predominant. Like if I ask for climate smart agriculture, climate smart varieties, you should be able to tell many such varieties which are there. And also if I ask you about the export variety like the Pusa Basmati 1121 and also HD 2329, which are the ruling varieties which we should know, that everyone is expected to know. And also for these concepts like concepts of cropping and farming system, this year they asked a very specific question on integrated farming system, which they used to not ask in general. We will see the paper also. And also regarding the organic and precision farming, please use like the specific this one, like 1 or 2 pages notes only. And when you write this topic like organic farming, if I say, we should write the area in India, the area in the world, and how much is in the forest area. So these things we should know and we should write. That will give credit to your answer. And when you write about organic farming, you should definitely mention IFOM. So these organizations which are working on organic farming, you have to mention. So that will give you credit, a good definition and a good body, and with conclusion wherein you put up some schemes. So that's what we have to do even in our GS papers. Like if I tell about precision farming, how it will be useful for even in small land holding, and which institutes are working, like IRI is working on precision farming. So you can write in one point that in precision farming IRI has developed this technology which is really helpful for the community. For example, you look at this topic, package of practices for production of important cereals, pulses, oil seeds, fibers. Here you find that this year they asked about the package of practices of maize, not maize, about quality protein maize. This is the first time they have asked about QPM, but the answer is nearly the same. There is no much difference, but you should know about QPM, how it is different from the normal maize. You have to write the definition, like it is rich in lysine and tryptophan, and also how the production practices change, and how is that seed type. So they are asking new questions, but these are very important in the area of agriculture right now. Like if you see at IRI, QPM is very important in the genetics division, so you should know that. So next, if you look at the important features and the scope of various types of forestry plantation, this year also we had the question on forestry, also schemes. What changes UPSC is doing is, earlier they used to focus on only basic questions like what is forestry, what are the types of forest, that's it. But now they are asking schemes. See, there is difference between how you write for your course exams, like your university exam. Here we need to bring that policy angle in your answer. That will give you credit. Wherein you write the particular schemes, that will differentiate. And this agroforestry and value addition and conservation of forest flora and fauna. But some questions, what happens is, like if you think about this conservation of forest flora and fauna, it will be very general answer. I will tell you later that we need to avoid such very general topics if they ask, because like if it is given in the option, that will give you more credit. And another is like you know about the weeds. Every year, every 2 years once, they definitely ask about biological weed control. But what is the difference which you are going to make? Simply writing biological disease control, the old names and the old insects and mites and things will not give you credit. We need to add on with the latest updated version, so that we will get more credit and more marks in the examination. And also like the chemical control of weeds, and this time they asked about the activity and selectivity of this weedicides. And when you look at the soil science, please study all the previous year questions. That will give you a lot of idea. Sir, for example, biological properties. This is very important. They are asking it every now and then. And also regarding the soil fertility, they are asking every year few questions. And another is like biofertilizer. This year also they asked the question about biofertilizers. So if they ask about biofertilizers, everyone will write azotobacter, rhizobium for like whatever crops, rhizobium for pulses, everyone will write. But how we can differentiate? That is what makes the difference. So we need to make a very specific notes. We can add some diagrams. In biofertilizers, we have very good diagrams which we can add to show how the microorganisms has a relationship with the roots. And also look at this topic, like the losses of nitrogen in soil. So when you look at the losses of nitrogen in soil, we have a very beautiful diagram. Like all these things right now, it's very difficult to show it to you. Okay, some students are waiting, so I will just admit them. So next is like efficient phosphorus and potassium use. The problematic soils. This is the most important topic. So when we studied the previous year question and the syllabus, we know which is the most significant one. But how UPSC is changing. Earlier they used to ask only saline or alkali soil. But now last year when I wrote, they asked about saline alkali soil. Then they mix both, like how you are going to manage saline alkali soil. When I say saline alkali soil, what should come to your mind? What should come to your mind is, I need a diagram wherein I write the places which are saline, which are alkaline, how many areas, 8 million hectares, acid soils how much, and what is the reclamation strategy, what is the chemical. You need to differentiate, like we need to differentiate, so we need to differentiate most of the topics, like making an heading and covering them, like the chemical method, biological method, and the mechanical methods, how neatly we are able to present with diagrams and examples. Like for example, we also know that, like this topic, when you repeatedly read, we know that irrigation projects in India, they have not asked from the past many years. Maybe if you look at the last 10 years paper, they have not asked that question. And next, if you look at the agriculture economics, because I cannot cover all these things at a time, so maybe we will meet later also. So just I am giving a very brief overview of how you can cover the syllabus. Those who are going for mains 2022, who have very less time, they can make a huge use of all these things. See, when you look at agriculture economics and agriculture extension, this year the questions were tough. I hope you have seen the 2022-21 paper. It was comparatively tough. We will see that also. Here also there is limited things, and bring the knowledge of budget and economic survey. However, you should read in the GS3 portion, and also the Niti Aayog reports, Niti Aayog at 75, you have to definitely read for GS3. So bring all those information here. Economics of different types of farming system, marketing management, strategies for development, market intelligence, all this needs to be, all the facts whichever you are giving needs to be backed by a fact and an example. Then only we will get credit for our answers. And you look at the role of cooperatives in agriculture economy. So this also, here you should know the examples, like I will show you in this year's paper also. And like crop insurance, see, when you look at crop insurance, you should not look at like the last year question. I guessed that it may be like the scheme they may ask, because whichever is the trending schemes they may ask, and what they asked was not simply what is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. They asked how it is different and how it is modified and how it is moving. That you will get in newspaper, how the scheme is useful. Then you should have a data with you to say this many crores people have subscribed, and recently XYZ changes have happened. So then only will get good marks. Otherwise, the score will be around 200 only for those if we don't incorporate these changes. And when you look at extension, even in extension, like EKVKs are there. Like if I write about KVK, I should definitely mention, like recently there are EKVKs, the number of KVKs, the exact figures, and also the new KVK initiatives, how they are using the technologies for the farmers. And like when I tell about paper 2 in general, see, this is very specific. In genetics it is very specific. The cell structure, function, cell cycle, all these topics are very specific. This I think you can very well do from BD Singh book or this Angro PDF also. You can do all these topics in a very comprehensive manner, and you should identify topics like the sterility, the incompatibility. They are repeatedly asked, and how can we write the topic. Maybe in the next sessions we will discuss how we can make that answer more different. This is just an orientation class, like how we very broad view. Later we will study like how sterility and incompatibility question can be addressed in a much effective manner. Like you see in the case of cytoplasmic inheritance, we have diagrams for cytoplasmic inheritance, definitely. So recently I met my senior, like he got more than 280 marks. So when I asked him how this cell culture question he asked, he said he drew an 3D picture of a cell. So just imagine. So I used to draw 2D picture and someone draws 3D picture. So there is some difference, right? So once somebody puts some extra effort, then he is credited more. So definitely we should try to incorporate such changes. And you can see this sex linked, influenced and limited characters, how they are differentiating and what are the examples needs to be clearly dealt. And also plant breeding also in the same manner, now they are changing the question. Like this year they asked about the gene pool concept, which is not directly in the syllabus. They asked from the syllabus, but now they are little bit moving away from the, like looks like little bit they are going inside the syllabus, like it comes in the origin or evolution, domestication of croplands, in that topic it comes. But we usually tend to ignore it, but they ask the gene pool concept and also with examples, the examples of how gene pool 1, 2, 3. We have a diagram also for gene pool 1, 2 and 3. My junior said that I asked him what did he write for this question. Then he said that, sir, I drew a diagram. So gene pool 1, gene pool 2, gene pool 3, we have a diagram. So that is what makes the difference, and usually students tend not to write that. And like applications of plant breeding, like molecular markers, this is very important. Most of the paper you can see that they are asking about molecular markers. Molecular markers is one of the basis, and when you write about molecular markers, definitely we need examples. Okay, like if I wrote about the saltol genes are there, which are transferred, and also XA13, XA21 genes have been transferred in Pusa basmati varieties, and also even in chickpea we have like Pusa 10216 variety, wherein we have transferred drought resistance. So when I write such examples, then definitely he has to give credit, because we are not writing only theory of molecular markers. What is molecular marker? Everyone will write molecular markers are useful, this, that, this. You give with examples. Every point you are able to dash with an example, then you will get good credit. So I wrote about all that molecular markers and its application in the agriculture. Not only molecular markers, you cannot write from a single angle, like from the perspective of only variety development. Molecular markers for DNA fingerprinting, that is also very important, even in the germplasm preservation. So diversity is also needed and depth is also needed. When I write about if I am writing about specifically about molecular markers, I will also include the other sectors which are working. And also, like you see, look at the somatic hybridization. Definitely we need to have examples and facts to be added in these topics, and diagrams. And also GM crops, this every year they are asking. So recently if they ask anything about even GM crop, so you can mention that we are moving into in the conclusion, there is a possibility. We think that in genetics and these topics, there is no possibility of bringing this current affairs or some other facts here. But in GM crop plants, we can also bring that. How can we bring that? You can write about the recent genome editing policy which government has brought, which is one of the step in the right direction. So current affairs also you can bring. And please read newspapers like the Indian Express. We have in Indian Express we have many such articles coming. For marketing, you can read Ashok Gulati sir's page, and also we recently also had the production data. Definitely you should know the production data of all the crops. If they ask every year about pulses, oilseed, definitely we need to quote and write about the recent policies, like the oil palm policy which government is bringing. What we do is, like, we will write isopom policy of 1970s. That is too old. That is not relevant right now. You need to go with the trend of the current affairs. Please use the internet. And also, like seed science and physiology. See, if they ask some question regarding seed science, you should try to bring a diagram of seed, and from there try to explain the concepts. Like in this year's paper, I will explain it later. So we also have these concepts, and it's very difficult for me to discuss all these topics at a time. We will take separate topics like seed science one day, physiology, like that. And also like the enzymes and plant pigments, that is also a very important topic, and the C3, C4 and CAM cycles from the physiology point of view. So in case of horticulture, it is a very big challenge even for everyone who has written mains. It's still a challenge. But what we can do is that try to decrease the effect of like the package of practices. Other than package of practices, if they ask, students are able to manage the question. But for example, if they ask about the role of fruits and vegetables in human nutrition, the similar question they asked this year. What is the use of, I think, horticulture in nutrition or something? So in this one, what we can do is bring about some tell about a specific fruit like banana. It is rich in vitamin A. The lemon, it is rich in vitamin C, and how, which disease it will be helpful. So if you give some specificity for a general question, then your score is going to increase. And also when you read about the horticulture crops, try to don't go like deep into all the crops. Try to look at the previous year and read some of them which are relevant. And also like the pests and disease, here also make a list of the topics which they have asked in the last 20 years, and only those topics you can admit, you can use. So like this food science portion also is a very challenging portion which we look at even in when we are preparing. So these topics are not really available in the present materials. So like for me, I have made some notes from the internet. We have made notes. This document is available, Vision 2020. Make some particular notes for all these topics, and these topics like PDS, policy implementation, these can be covered well from our GS3 of the GS paper. And if we are able to prepare GS3 and this together very well, then we can increase our score in GS3 also, and we can increase our score here also. What is important is how you use that knowledge here. And also here you can see protein, energy, malnutrition, micronutrient and other topics. But in general, it is always better to avoid these topics, because these topics are generally very risky, because they will give you average marks. This is also important. Those who have written mains, they only can understand what if I write, how much marks I will get. And we like interact with our seniors also, those who are in service also, and we understand that what type of questions you attend, that also matters. It doesn't, everyone will say I have done very well in the paper but I am not getting good score. The reason is not that what we have written, but which question you have attempted, that also matters. So if a student is having a confusion between a genetics question and a food sciences question, what should he attend? He should attend a genetics question, because there is lot of specificity. But here, if I give you this question, national dietary guidelines for you to write and tell me, then definitely you are going to get an average score for this question, whatever you write, because there is no comprehensive answer for this. Very, very broad. Micronutrient deficiency and HRD in the context of work capacity of women and children. Such is the thing. So like right now I just discussed very broadly these things. So specifically also maybe if you are interested, we can have. And another thing, like which questions to attend, I told you right now, because those who are thinking that they are going to clear this time, maybe in another 2 days you will get the results. So you should be very cautious, because the first question, which is the compulsory question, will take lot of time. Take it from my side, because there are 5 questions, and when you look at the paper you will see that they are increasing the complexity of the questions also. I will discuss it later then. Another is, this year there was 3 in some questions, like the 15 marker there was 3 pages, and 20 marker there was 4 pages. This was like something very unusual. Last year and before, like when we write, there was only 3 pages. Whether it is 15 marker, 20 marker, doesn't matter. All we have 3 pages. But this year we had 3 pages and 4 pages, and when you go and sit in the examination hall, then only you know that yes, we have 4 pages. Then how you are going to deal? And it becomes really lengthy. We don't have time for even writing the answer, and we find that we are asked to write 4 pages. But that pressure we need to handle, and it was found that those who have written 3 pages have got less score. Though they have comprehensively written, maybe still they have got less score. Those who have written all the 4 pages completely with good content, they have they have got more score. So these things we will know only from our seniors, and like we have written and we have experience, and I am telling you. And also go for the concept based question. And how do you do value addition, sir? Value addition. So if I ask you, like we need to use the keywords in agriculture. Like if they ask about any topic about agriculture, we will definitely mention about NICRA. If they ask about climate change, we will definitely mention NICRA. Then we will mention climate smart. We will mention Paris climate change initiatives, such things, so that we tend to provide all the important details. Also use diagrams. Like this year, I will show it in the paper only, and also use the current affairs. So I have like one channel also, you can look, wherein the current affairs of daily has been updated, so that current affairs you need to write in your notes and cram it, and please use it in the exam. And also like the book list, if you want we can share this. Like economics, usually students rely on VT Raju, then for principles agronomy Elementa Reddy, and also for soil science DK Das, and agriculture extension even AK Singh sir's book is good. Selectively you can go through. And the entomology, like DS Reddy sir's book is there. These things also go through, only not completely, just syllabus wise. This we can discuss it very specifically, like which chapter to go through, as we are covering it comprehensively, and those who are writing 22, so for them they may not have much time to know that. And also like plant pathology, you can go through the Agri notes. For the food science portion, please go through the GS3 portion. And for paper 1, please go through the Pundan Singh book. And for plant breeding, it is the Pundan Singh book is the best. And also I have my books also, like plant breeding made easy, so that book is also good. And also in plant physiology, please go through only important topics, like I mentioned photosynthesis, growth hormones, metabolism, biological nitrogen fixation. I require you, when you read any book, you should not read any book from some indirect perspective, like just openly. I want you to read the book from an examiner point of view, what the examiner wants. We are not in a business to do a PhD in all these subjects. You are here to gain marks and get selected, that's it. So our approach should be like that, a crystal clear approach of having all the materials segregated, and having an very keen eye. Like if I tell you diagram, you go through the VK Jain. If I tell you the chapter on photosynthesis, look for a good diagram wherein which you can use in the exam, and remember that only matters, nothing else. And about the like horticulture, N Kumar sir's book is also good. So like for current affairs, you can refer to the ICR website every now and then, and the economic survey, and the schemes. Please cram all the schemes and the recent schemes, and also some of the policies initiatives of the government. And also use the name of if you are writing about economics, for example CACP, the question came last year, we can mention in the conclusion that Ramesh Chand committee said that something like that. So you need not be very specific about that, because Ramesh Chand sir's committee is working on MSP, CACP, other things, so you can easily write that. So if they ask about KVK, then you can include ICR, and remember few KVKs which are really working. You just Google it, you will get the KVKs. So such things you can use. And also like in the exam hall, this I will tell you after the one PPT. I will just show you. So you can see this is this year's 21 this one question paper. This is my own paper, so I have made some marks and all. That's all. So you can see let me tell you, like this is what is important to you, how you are able to think and how you are able to analyze right now. Okay, so in detail we will discuss. See, like the major ways for sustainable management, natural resources. This is the syllabus topic, natural resources. So definitely I expect everyone, you should know and you should have made notes, and we need to categorize the answer. So when I asked about improved agro practices for the production of quality protein maize, so I told about QPM. This is a very new question. First time they have asked in UPSC, but this is very important question and running topic in research. So definitely we should write. We should know that. So look at this social forestry and various schemes. See, when they ask about scheme, we need to give the examples of the schemes in Haryana. Even her made per made per paid. Such schemes needs to be given importance. And also like this year they asked, I think in prelims, what is that, in forest plantation they asked. So such current affair based topics you can add. Like I told about the biofertilizers, how you are able to differentiate, and the major constraint in popularization of biofertilizers. Here everyone will write very general topic. Here you need to bring data. Like if I tell you, you should write properly 6 months, this is what is the capacity, there is no strains, what are the strains, how they become ineffective after some time, and there is specific strains for specific like crop and that variety, which will give more advantage. So whether we are able to develop such very important strains, you can write the example of the strains recently developed by like IARI has also developed. So if you write, you will get more credit. So like next is like when I tell you, see, this is compulsory. You see how it is like 5 questions. So this is what is the difference. When you write these 5 questions, it will be like 2 questions of the optional questions. See here these are all optional. Some of the students even do that mistake that they don't know that the first question and the 5th question is compulsory. Please know that the first question and 5th question is compulsory. The other questions are optional. See, when you look at the second question, it's okay, you can write some 3 to 4 pages. But when you look at these questions, this is very dangerous. This first question, 5 questions are there. We have around 35 minutes only for one question. But I will definitely tell you, not only me, even all seniors, they take 40 to 45 minutes for this first question, because it is bulky and you have to start. When you start, it takes time. So these all questions take more time. This comes through this one. And here also, second question, we need to look at the questions. Like you see, what is greenhouse effect? This is like comparatively general question. What is the detail about greenhouse gases and the impact on crop production? What is the role of new agriculture technologies and market policies in crop diversification? Discuss the activity and selectivity of herbicide. See, if I am able to know these first two questions and I have doubt on this, then it is better not to attempt, because you will get very low score in this third one, C. So that's why we should try to attempt questions wherein we know all the 3 questions, like may not be very well, but even average. So this first question, what is green? These both questions are okay, but this question, if you know properly, then only. Here you cannot bluff. So you can see here, discuss the activity and selectivity. Here you see they are asking the crop diversification. If they ask about crop diversification, what I expect is that you need to definitely write about the schemes of Punjab and Haryana. They have schemes like the Mera Pani Mera Virasat. This is an important scheme. Mera Pani Mera Virasat. Pani Bachao Paisa Kamao. This is a scheme for crop diversification, which is very important scheme in Punjab and Haryana. And when we speak about crop diversification, we are majorly focusing on this like the Haryana and Punjab and the Western UP belt. So if you write that scheme, definitely you will get credit. But if you don't write that scheme and if someone else writes that scheme, definitely you have to be scored less. So this, like if I say diversification, we may think it is a very general question, there is no current affairs involved, but there is a lot of current affairs involved in such question also. Write these technologies. Next is What do you understand by agroforestry? Discuss various types of agroforestry. This is comparatively easy question. You can make some diagrams also to show the classification. The next is, what do you mean by site specific nutrient management? Write the steps and recommendation in implementing SSNP in major crops. Let me tell you, this is a new question. This has not appeared in the UPSC before. So maybe site specific nutrient management some extent, but not the steps and recommendations for implementing SSP in major cereals. So we need to, if you know only, then only attempt these questions. And this has a specific diagram also, which I have uploaded in my this Telegram channel. So there is specific diagram, very simple diagram. So if we know, then you will get very good marks. Write the steps and recommendation for implementing SSNP in major cereals. Next is, discuss the various international conventions. See, if this question comes, definitely our prelims knowledge will help. How many initiatives we have read, international conventions? Maybe you have written vision or some current affair material. Definitely we go through all these things. And this soil fertility, and now they are going into very specific things, like what are the factors responsible. Here I think, here this question you see, define IFS and how IFS can improve the income of different land holding groups. So income of different land holding groups means you should write the economic details. If you don't write the economic details, then we may have some penalty of marks. So the syllabus they have given integrated farming system. So you go one step ahead also, not only stick to the syllabus and previous, one step ahead also. What more can be read? Even when I saw that, then there is, for small farmers they have a particular IFS system. For a large farmer and rain-fed, we have different things. So I told about this major biological control. Here please use examples. So here also we can see all these questions like ICT. See, ICT means definitely all our ICT, Pusa Kisan, M Kisan, all these apps you need to definitely write, and the MSP and its determination. Like even you can write the you can use the name of organizations, like even the name of Ashok Gulati and all, like, because they do in the conclusion you can write. And definitely you can write about the Ashok Dalawai committee reports, how they are different. And like you see, this Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and its progress they are asking. They are not asking Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So thing is, like, when you learn or when you understand, UPSC is asking something different from what we study in university. In university they will ask, what is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, what is it? Here they are asking, what is its progress? What do you mean by progress? We should know. When somebody says its progress, it means that how it was earlier and how it is now. You should be able to differentiate with a chart. Like here, 41% farmers have joined, and this much is the premium. 30% we need to make. How they have changed. Like it was for loany farmers, not for loany. So these changes have taken place. So this is the progress. So if you clearly write that progress, we will get credit. And another trend which we observed was, like, look at the parameters for determining quality of irrigation water. Usually they used to not ask this question in compulsory. They used to ask this question in optional questions, like whichever they are given option. But right now, this year they changed the trend. So this is what we need to see. Like I will tell you, for those who are writing 2022, please not only go for previous year question just topic wise, but also previous year questions like original paper. Then you will know that trick, like whether they are giving it compulsory, whether they are giving in optional that topic, and how you are able to differentiate. Here you need to write all the data. Quality of irrigation water, if I ask, we should write the boron, what is the limit, less than 5 this one ppm, how much ppm, then EC 15, so these all details needs to be specifically written. So here also you can see the irrigation potential of India, how they are asking very specific questions, Here you can see explain agronomic and mechanical measures to reduce the adverse effect of soil erosion in crop production. So here we have complete classification, agronomic classification, mechanical classification. So if your notes is ready like this, agronomic classification, and this one you will get credit. See for example cooperative marketing with successful case study. So once they, even if they don't ask case studies also, definitely you have to write the case studies, like the Safal in Delhi, or to like Nandini in Karnataka, the Amul, and also something different. So here see, if I write these things, everyone will write something new, like Maha grapes in Maharashtra, which is one of the greatest marketing for grapes. We have Maha orange. So these things little bit people will write less. And also in Delhi there are also cooperatives which are working. So we need to write that examples. And also if the question on cooperative marketing, discuss they have asked. So you can even write about the policy, recent policy changes which they have made, multi-state cooperatives. So we need to also show the examiner that we are in tune with the examination. We are not like in the old generation of writing only what is cooperative marketing from the 1970s. As an UPSC aspirant, we need to be in the trend of writing whatever we have read. And this 7th question you can see about ecology. This you can cover from our environment portion. And drainage of waterlogged areas. Discuss the advantages, limitation of drip and sprinkler irrigation. This I think everyone can manage, but still there needs to be a diagram. If I tell drip and sprinkler, definitely there needs to be a diagram. Improve drainage of waterlogged soils. How much area is there in waterlogged soils? So these data are there, we'll share it. So those things also we need to incorporate. Here also you can see discuss various approaches of extension. This is a question of 2020 when we wrote that time also. This year also when I wrote, this year also that question came. Like we have educational approach, and this recently they have started, and the recent emerging techniques of transfer technology. You look at this 8th question, let me tell you, this is very difficult. Like these first 2 questions, not very difficult, it is very difficult to score. Critically examine major extension program of agriculture sector in India. Here you have to write from the emergence of like from the 1950s to the present. So definitely you know that the somewhere you will miss some points. Then it will and also writing this is very difficult. This is 20 marker. I told you this year they gave 4 pages. Every year they give 3 pages. This is very important for those who are writing 2022. Please remember there is a change in the pattern of UPSC. Last year when I wrote 3 pages, when we went there and when you are writing, then only you see that 1 page is extra for 20 marker. And for मान लो कि 6-7 पेजेस के लिए एक्स्ट्रा क्वेश्चंस, 20 मार्कर क्वेश्चन 6-7 पेजेस एक्स्ट्रा हो गया. वी हैव प्रैक्टिस्ड इसी स्पीड से कि वी विल राइट 40 पेजेस 50 पेजेस इतना प्लान करके गए. वहाँ जाके पता चला कि 7 पेजेस एक्स्ट्रा लिखना है. सो इफ़ यू आर नॉट राइटिंग देन वी आर गोइंग टू बी अफेक्टेड. सो इस बार हमने 7 पेज एक्स्ट्रा लिखना पड़ा और वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट था क्योंकि वी आर नॉट प्लान्ड एक्चुअली. हमने सोचा था कि हमको इतना ही लिखना है, 15 मार्कर या 20 मार्कर 3 पेज ही देते हैं, लेकिन इस बार 4 पेज दे दिया. 4 पेज भरा नहीं तो सोचेंगे कि इसका पास थोड़ा नॉलेज कम है या आपका कॉम्पिटिटर जो है वो लिखेगा. एंड नेक्स्ट लाइक डिस्कस द सक्सेस एंड फेलियर ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर प्राइस पॉलिसी एंड इट्स इंसेप्शन. यहाँ देखो ये 4 पेज, ये 4 पेज भरना इतना आसान नहीं है. वो भी दिस इज लास्ट क्वेश्चन, 8वीं क्वेश्चन है. इसमें कर या नहीं कर सकते हो, लेकिन इट इज़ लाइक उस माइंड काम ही नहीं करता है उस टाइम. जस्ट होता है 25 मिनट्स एंड यू हैव टू राइट लाइक एनीथिंग. एंड इफ आई सी दीज क्वेश्चंस डेफिनेटली नथिंग विल कम इन टू आवर माइंड, वी विल जस्ट ब्लफ समथिंग. इसलिए लेट मी टेल यू अनदर विच आई शुड हैव टोल्ड यू इन द स्टार्टिंग ओनली. सी please when they give the question paper, first select the questions. For those who are writing 22, first select the questions, then only go into the paper. Because what happens is once we start writing, then our mind changes. When we see the question again, then we say अभी हम wrong question choose कर लिए, अभी delete करते हैं और एक question जाते हैं. That is very dangerous. You cannot go back. एक बार गलती हो गया 20 नंबर गया और कोई इलाज नहीं है इसके लिए. तो पहले ही जैसे ही देंगे 5 मिनट्स पहले ही देंगे पेपर को, पहले देखो कि कौन सा क्वेश्चन अटेंड करना है, कौन सा क्वेश्चन डिलीट करना है, डिलीट कर लो जो क्वेश्चन करना है। जिसमें भी पूरा नहीं आता हो, एक भी क्वेश्चन ऐसा आता है तो उसको डिलीट करना सही है। बट यू नो एवरेज फॉर ऑल द 3 क्वेश्चंस, देन you can try to attend. And after the results also you can contact, we will discuss who those who are going for mains 2022. Definitely we can plan well, and also 2023 also. So here you can see this is the for optional paper. See, I told about gene pool concept, they have asked that this year, and genetic erosion. Let me tell you, this was like paper 2 is very lengthy this time. See, they have given sub questions. Gene pool concept, this is one concept. Genetic erosion and classify gene pool. There are 3 questions. That's why I told you the compulsory questions are the key, and it will squeeze your time. Like I thought to write in 35 to maximum 40 minutes. It used to stretch to 45 minutes because you look at the questions also. Here you see advantages हो गया, disadvantages हो गया, 1 mass selection, 2 simple recurrent selection, 3 क्लोनल सिलेक्शन। ये सब कम पूछते हैं, सिंपल रिकरेंट सिलेक्शन और क्लोनल सिलेक्शन कंपैरेटिवली लेस पूछते हैं। लेकिन ये उन्होंने क्या पूछा, बस 10 नंबर के लिए एडवांटेजेस भी लिखो, डिसएडवांटेजेस भी लिखो ऑफ मास सिलेक्शन। इसके लिए ठीक है ये क्वेश्चन, बट दे आस्क्ड 3 भी पूछ लिया। यू हैव टू डेफिनेटली राइट। इसमें 30 मार्क्स का मेहनत लगता है आंसर लिखने में, और तुमको कंप्रेस करके लिखना पड़ेगा और फास्ट लिखना पड़ेगा। नेक्स्ट IPR इश्यूज, ये भी एवरी ईयर पूछते हैं। इफ दे आस्क अबाउट IPR इश्यूज एंड ऑल, you should definitely write about PPVFR. So such things, all organizations should come to your mind every now and then. Like if I ask intellectual property rights in agriculture, definitely you should write PPVFR. If you don't write PPVFR, मान लो कि आपका आधा 1 नंबर गया। Sorry, in a sensitive topic in agriculture. Next, like you see here, बस 10 नंबर का है, 4 क्वेश्चन है, 4 क्वेश्चन है, 2 पेज है। लेकिन ये वाला है ना, सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन, यू कैन राइट 4 पेजेस। लेकिन जहाँ आपको 1 पेज का नॉलेज होता है, वहाँ क्वेश्चन होता है 4 पेज लिखने के लिए, और जहाँ हमारा पास 4 पेज की नॉलेज होता है, वहाँ क्वेश्चन होता है मीन्स लाइक वो 1 पेज का ही देते हैं। जैसे प्रोजेनी टेस्ट, ये भी आराम से 2 पेज लिख सकते हैं, डायग्राम सब बनाओ, अच्छे से बढ़िया से बना सकते हैं। सीड बैंक, ये भी इतना इन्फॉर्मेशन है ना, ये एक चैप्टर लिख सकते हैं। सीड बैंक इतना जनरल टॉपिक है कि 1 पेज लिख सकते हैं। ये देखो, जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाइड क्रॉप, व्हेन आई रोट द आंसर जस्ट आई हैड दिस मच, लाइक दिस क्वेश्चन हाउ मच स्पेस इज देयर, दिस मच ओनली फॉर दिस GM crop, because these 3 also occupy that much space that there is no space for GM crops. But need to be careful that we are properly dividing and putting only the key points at that time. If they about GM crops, not only write about the flower sour tomato, everyone will write flower sour tomato, write something different. The Arctic apple, this is like in USA they have released, this will be something different. Arctic apple, everyone will not write. So such examples needs to be written in case of GM crops, like this Barnes bar star system, and also like in the mustard we are developing. So those things should be there. So here you can see define cell and physiological and molecular basis of heterosis, classify males clearly. This let us discuss in a completely different time, because it will take a lot of time. Like this question, you see, what is clone and what do you understand clonal selection? Describe various steps involved in clonal selection. This is a new question, very new question. They have not asked, and it is very difficult question also, because this year you don't know properly. We need to write something, na? We cannot eliminate everything. And this is a very difficult question, because not difficult question in the sense we have studied, maybe you have studied in undergraduation, but for UPSC it is new question, because they have not asked this question commonly, and they have asked also various steps involved in clonal selection for 15 marks. 3 पेज भरना है इसमें, पूरा 3 पेज भरना है क्लोनल सिलेक्शन के बारे में ही। यूजुअली सब पढ़ते हैं रिकरेंट सिलेक्शन, मास सिलेक्शन, प्योर लाइन, ये सब पढ़ते हैं, उसमें तो भर सकते हैं आराम से। जो नया क्वेश्चन होता है उसमें थोड़ा दिक्कत होगा. व्हाट डू यू अंडरस्टैंड बाय सेंटर ऑफ ओरिजिन एंड लाइक द लॉ ऑफ होमोलॉगस सीरीज ऑफ वेरिएशन, ये भी लिख सकते हैं, लेकिन ये भी 15 नंबर का है. व्हाट डू यू अंडरस्टैंड सेंटर ऑफ ओरिजिन. तो सेंटर ऑफ ओरिजिन में सब कुछ लाइक इट विल बी लाइक कॉन्टिनेंट्स यू कैन शो एंड ऑल्सो स्पेसिफिक होता है लाइक क्रॉप्स एंड द कंट्री ऑफ ओरिजिन. सो इट विल रिक्वायर मोर टाइम. And also you can see all these topics which we will discuss later also. See that this was the questions on like the seed science question. So once they ask seed viability, you can draw this diagram which I have drawn. Specifically I will tell you how it is, this graph and all, just for our knowledge we write. And you see this question, vernalization question. देखो 20 नंबर का क्वेश्चन है. Even if physiologist will not be able to write like in 4 pages, we know maybe 1 page or 1 or 2 pages properly about vernalization, describe its practically. They are asking for 20 markers, so you should know that this question should not be attended. This question should be marked crossed because this is very risky. कितना लिख दोगे, 4 पेज कैसे लिखोगे, इतना इंफॉर्मेशन यूजुअली नहीं होता है स्टूडेंट के पास. या तुम मॉलिकुलर के बारे में बात करो, वर्नलाइजेशन की, जीन्स कौन सा है, FTH जीन्स है, वो सब सही से पता है तभी अटेंड कर सकते हो, नहीं तो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. एंड ऑल्सो यू सी अबाउट द EIL, pathology, entomology parts. This we will discuss some other time. Here you see the food security question. This is very general, like national dietary guidelines. If you write even whatever national dietary guidelines, it will be different. Like the National Nutritional Institute in Hyderabad, they have released. But even if you go to FAO and other, they also release. There will be some difference. तो इसमें तो फर्क पड़ेगा. So this is what I wanted to say. Like in exam hall, after the prelims like results, those who want to like interested, so they can even consult and take guidance, so that they are going to write very well in the exam. Even 23 they also can, but those who are in 22 they are having more importance. Also learn from your seniors also. Even some questions if you want, like you can get it evaluated also. From my end, some questions if you want to write, you can contact this number and send some answers also. I'll try to evaluate and send you. So those who are like this year, they will be given priority. They can write and send, because those who have gone through the process, they know better what is the real difficulty. Because many are good in academics, there is no question, many people who will be there too. But the thing is, like, whether you are in touch with UPSC and whether you have written mains or your coach is rating, that also matters. So now the question, like if you want to ask any questions, please post the questions, or you can raise your hand and ask some questions. I can answer some of them. You can post the questions in the chat box also, or you can like ask some questions also. If you are interested, you can ask some questions. You can unmute and ask the question. Number na then share madu. You can write phone number send madu. Channel share madu. There is no questions. How to? Okay, Prashant Kumar is asking how to prepare effective notes. Telegram channel name. Okay, ಆ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕು, ಫೋನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ. Okay. So how to prepare effective notes, Telegram channel name, sir. Sir, we have to write all questions or options is there. See, I think Jivan Naik, so I think you should know the basic principles, like the first and fifth question is compulsory. Other questions out of which you need to attend three questions. One from the section 1 and the another, at least section one question from section 1 and the other question from the section 2. Okay, Manisha is asking about the management, time management section wise. Share, please briefly discuss time management section wise. See, that is very important question. See, for time management, please follow the very specific ones. Please use them. Specific ones, please use them. Like the topics. Let me tell you. Like, I think you are asking, like, we have very less time, then how we are able to manage time. Okay, give first importance. Like, if I tell you about paper 1, give first importance to in soils, like what you know, give importance to all the sections, agronomy, soil science, everything. But we should know, like, for example, soil science, every year they are asking the question. So definitely you have to read that soil science from the problematic soil part. Okay, next, like for example, food science question, please try to give the least importance. And for example, economics question, please try to attend economics question if possible. Why? Because you can add the recent current affairs in the economics question. Okay, and let me start from here. Weed science portion, this you please concentrate. Weed science portion, concentrate very well. It will give you good credits. And then and also next I will tell you, like, farm management extension also, go for examples. And if it is like very general question, try avoiding such question. And when you come to paper 2, please focus on these genetics, breeding, seed science, physio. These things 4, please focus. Other things you should give the second importance, that is horticulture, pathology, entomology, etc. You can also discuss later. Next, what is the question? How to
Hello,
make?
sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, this is Kavita. I'm planning to give UPSC in 2023. I'm confusing about selection for optional subject. I'm basically a food technology student. I felt difficulty in choosing optional. What I went through syllabus, in that agriculture is, I felt that I can able to attend. Those topics are already I studied my UG, and now I have done MSc Food Technology completed. I felt that public administration or agriculture, both syllabus I went through that. I felt that agriculture is somewhat I can attend confidently. I felt so. You told that food technology subjects are there, but I'm a food technology student. I can able those questions are general questions, because you told that those questions you should not able to
ಅದನ್ನ ನೀನು
means
ನಂಬರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ
put
ಶೇರ್
it as
ಮಾಡು
option
ಪ್ಲೀಸ್.
like
ಸೆಂಡ್
that.
ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್
So how can I decide?
ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಕಳಿಸು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. Yeah, see, it's not like I'm telling about these specific topics, not like food technology is questions, this one. The thing is, like, those questions you cannot write very specifically, because if I tell it is very broad topic, so that's why. But I will tell you, definitely you can try food science students. I think you all, even those who are in other like agriculture related subjects, please write agriculture. It will give you good benefits compared to other topics, because other topics may not like other optionals may be little bit difficult for us to and it will take more time. So definitely I think you can try for agriculture optional. It will provide you good dividends for you, or you can even watch some videos and this also. But definitely like you don't think that your subject is there, that's why it's not like that. But the whole of agriculture you have studied in undergraduation, definitely I think you should take it.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Because I know very well about food technology. Now, agriculture subjects are included in my UG, not much as food technology subjects. So I asked.
Yeah, that definitely you can go. And also we have questions like make unique. See, that's what I said. Maybe next I will take session. I will show you how to make diagrams. How I made diagrams in the mains answers. So right now showing it will be difficult. Rahul Nayak has asked about that, including diagrams in our answers. Definitely you have to add everywhere wherever possible. And I will show you next time how we can add the diagrams in the topics. And also in paper 1 you can add very well, and even in genetics portion you can add. Tirumalavan has asked, sir, when will complete study material reach us? Okay. The syllabus, like you see, the syllabus is very broad, and you need to bring about all the topics together. Is there any penalty for crossing word limits? As you said, we have to write all 4 pages. See, when we spoke to our seniors, so we find that word limits, like strictly they don't follow the word limit. As per them, they don't strictly follow the word limits, but as per the experience of many students, you have to write all the 4 pages, then only you will get good credit for the answers. Sir, we have to write all questions or options, that is okay. So those who are like thinking about like who wants to write about mains or want to practice well, they can send the answers to this number also. So we will try to evaluate and send you, so that you will also understand and like what manners which we can use. See, collect data on agriculture and examples on varieties. See, one is like the ICR website, that is the one of the best source. There is no other like best source, but even in current affairs we get lot of new varieties which are there. So once such varieties come into the picture, you need to write, like for example biofortified variety, it was released by Prime Minister last year. You should be able to jot down like the Girnar variety, the chickpea variety. That is the easy source. And also like some seniors, we will also collect some and we will distribute to you also, data on agriculture and examples on varieties. Then any other questions anyone is having?
Hello, sir. This is Manu SM.
Yes, Manu.
Hello.
Yes, Manu, please.
Sir, a very nice session, sir. Sir, my query is where can we get current affair material for agriculture optional subjects, sir?
Okay. That's a good question. Like how can we get?
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay. See, the current affairs, that's what I said. There are few sources, like the newspaper is the best source, and also in the economic survey and budget we have the data which is provided about all the agriculture related stuffs. So all those data you can use, and also some current affair materials are also available, like in KUS also they are available, so that you can use. And also that telegram links you can join, like the which I have shared. So when we post some recent agriculture technologies which are in the news, so that you can easily incorporate in your questions. And also like varieties, that also from the ruling varieties, those are not usually in the newspaper, that is also there. Like for example in IARI, the HD 2329, which is the most important the variety, but it may not come in the news, but you should know about all major crops like rice, wheat, and these pulses, the major varieties and where they are ruling. Don't go for specific state varieties. like Maharashtra this variety is there, not like that. Go for pan India varieties, that will give you more credit and marks. So other things that we will share in some time. The Bhagat Chandan is asking which source we need to follow as a beginner for agriculture for optional. So whether you are an agriculture graduate, Bhagat? Yes, sir. Okay. If you are an agriculture graduate, I think if you are in the third year or fourth year, you need to focus like on your notes only, your class notes and these things. That will be very useful. So you are in second year. That is good. Like if you are starting from now, then you have very good chance. And because I told you, UPSC this is different. The strategy for academics is different, and the aspects for UPSC is different. So also you can get in touch with this number also. So we will try to provide some notes also for some topics. So that is the one of the best things which you can do. And also when you read now also, when you read genetics, don't read only from your course perspective, like your university perspective. Read from UPSC perspective. Bring some innovations in all the questions which you are attending. Okay, in our university exam we only focus on our old pattern. So other things in detail also we can discuss about paper 1, how to prepare paper 2, and I will also show you like the diagrams and the value addition how we have done. So this is like the first session, so we are not able to show all those things. So some other things are there, you can ask. So those you may get the results in another 2 days. So if you are interested to understand and get guidance, you are always welcome. So why there is a generally scoring less in paper 1 compared to paper 2 and ways to increase it? See, there is nothing like paper 1 score is less. Let me tell you, this year most of the whatever I have seen the good scores in agriculture, our juniors, friends, seniors, the paper 1 score is more, I will tell you. What trend you are saying is like some 3 years back. Present trend is like paper 1 is like giving good credit also. But to most people, like for most people, paper 1 is more scoring and paper 2 is less scoring, because they have increased specificity in paper 2. They are asking very specific question, like they ask vernalization for 4 pages. Then that question is completely eliminated because you are going to score very less. So that is not the issue. Only thing is we need to prepare very well and go one step ahead of UPSC and do that. And that is the reason, like paper 1 generally they feel that it is very general and paper 2 is very specific, that's why. But that is changing also. So some other questions you have, you can ask. Or you can let me tell you one of the most important things which everyone, whoever in 22, 23 or in college, please practice answer writing and write the answers. That will help you, because many times we think that we know the answer but we are not very specific. So you please write the answers. Don't write for anything, just write for the previous year question, the 2021 question. You please write and you can send, and we will see like how you can like improve in different aspects. So anyone is having any questions or queries? So if you want to get in touch also, you can use this number, and because in the agriculture sector you see that there is no guidance from those who have qualified prelims or they who have qualified mains, who have given interview in the process. Most of them are like they themselves have not yet cleared prelims, and maybe they are good in academics, but UPSC has its own different techniques of setting the paper, and we need to answer it that way. So you can definitely give it write the answers and you can send. We will see how best you can improve it. So anyone is having any question, or we can close the session? Close ಮಾಡೋಣ. So if you have queries, you can even ask now, or we can close the meeting. Even afterwards also you can contact and try to. Only thing is that please prepare well and get through, and all the agriculture students will have a good edge. Okay, we'll meet again later. Thank you everyone. Yeah, PS, we will have more session. If all of you are interested, we'll have more sessions, and I think your session was useful for you. Thank you.